Hey everybody, Shaving Nobody Else's Auto. Waiting on you. I was out riding around on the pea picker because it's cool and it's fun. So anyway, thought I'd do something for a second while we were getting ready to go. I had the sign set up, so I got the pea picker out for a second. So we got a little bit of glare again tonight. Let's see if I can tip this down a little bit. Get rid of a little bit of that glare. Hopefully that's a little bit better for you guys. So anyway, more cool signs tonight. You can see some of them already laid out behind me. I've been gathering up a lot of signs lately. I've actually come up with a lot more signs than you would think over the last few months between Springfield Swap Meet, plus a few others here and there. And like I say, as you well know, I really can't pass up a sign. So Tweely D's here with us. So we're going to check some more of them out tonight. And I've still got tons of signs we haven't even got to. I got piles of them back in the building we haven't even looked at yet. Lee from New York's here. Jeff's here. P is in P, P-E-A-A, P-E-A-E. That's exactly how it is spelled on the pea picker. Peter's here. I don't know, did you miss the video on the pea picker maybe? John's here with us. Here's the pea picker. In case you guys didn't see it on the video. We'll set it over here. We'll walk by it here in a second in case you didn't catch the pea picker video. But anyway, lots of cool stuff to check out. We'll walk by the pea picker again. We do have a full video on the pea picker. The Schwinn crate muscle bikes. You'll definitely want to check that out if you missed it. So anyway, looks like everybody's getting their notifications. We're starting to get a few people on with us. And we're going to have a good time tonight checking out more signs. Now, of course, like most of you know when it comes to signs, I kind of am addicted. Kind of like buy more signs. And most of them go into my collection. So that's what most of the stuff is tonight. Stuff that I bought for me, but it's cool stuff, it's fun stuff. We're going to share it, we're going to check it out with you. So anyway, who caught the Snow Fighter video last night? That's a super cool truck. If you missed that, you'll definitely want to check that out. Who even knew there was a Snow Fighter? A Dodge Snow Fighter, S-N-O-F-I-T-E-R, Dodge Snow Fighter. Norma's here with us. So you'll definitely want to check that video out if you missed it last night. That's a really unique truck, and it is super, super solid. It's amazing. Lance is here with us. So looks like we got a few people on. Let's start checking out some cool signs. John said it's a cool truck and never even heard of one. Bill remembers them. They had plenty of them in his area. Of course, he's up north in the Northeast where they get a lot of snow, so I bet they were really popular up there. Brandon's here with us. Randy's on with us. Oh, Randy, I still need your address on your auction stuff. Peter says that's a great bad addiction. Yes, that is very true. James is here. Number one is the answer. Missing letters G and H. Not that I know of, so. But anyway, that Snow Fighter is pretty unique. And like I said, a lot of those trucks did end up in the northern climates where they used a lot of salt when they were moving the snow. So a lot of them didn't survive. John, no snow in South Texas. We don't even own a snow plow in San Antonio. But so the fact that this truck is a factory Snow Fighter, factory snow plow, was not used in a harsh climate and has very, very, very little rust in it at all. Probably just call me tomorrow, Randy. Would probably be the easiest, so I can get that stuff shipped to you. And like I said, this truck, to find one this solid, original stripes, is almost unheard of. So I was pretty excited about that truck. It's a neat old pickup. But anyway, let's start checking out some signs, seeing what we've got going on here with the new additions to my collection on signs. There's the pea picker for whoever was curious, and it is PEA picker. So yeah, if you didn't see the video on that thing, you'll definitely want to go back and check that out. Pete's here with us. Bill, a lot of counties in my area had them in yellow, so. But let's start off with more signs. We got a whole lineup of signs here tonight. Starting off with a Miller High Life on tap. Some of you guys may remember from the barn digging videos where we found a couple of these. I got one and Dad got one. This is a single-sided porcelain Miller High Life on tap. Really nice sign, except it actually had a point here, and that was dropped on that point and chipped at some point. John, the more signs you buy, the better for us because you'll run out of space one day. Good point, unless I build another building. Plus, something else I hadn't thought of, I got a lot of roof. I got a lot of ceiling I could fill. So I guess I could always go to the ceiling and start filling up there. Hadn't thought of that. That's a great idea. Jeff actually wants to see more of the Trans Am. Yeah, have not done a video on the Trans Am yet. I need to do that. All original, one owner, 78 Marty blue car with 48,000 miles on it. So do need to do a video on that car as well. John says didn't see the ceiling. Yeah. But the Miller High Life on tap, kind of an interesting sign because of the other one that we found. And I'll explain why. This is single-sided. It is porcelain. It's a lot of ceiling, Tweedledee, it is, yes. Back is just plain. Big Guy 45's here. Yeah, this particular building is 6,000 square feet. So there's 6,000 square feet of roof that is open. Pete liked the Viper banners. Yeah, there's actually a pair of those. Those came right out of Conner Avenue Assembly. When they quit building Vipers, they donated all the memorabilia to the United Way of Michigan. They put it on an online auction, and I have 2 of those black Generation 2 Viper banners directly out of the Viper plant. Brian Dispatch, the mag was awesome Sunday night. It's amazing how little electronic tech they had in the 70s, that's for sure. But what's cool about this Miller High Life is this is on tap, obviously. Now, we found 2 of these, and we found another sign, same font, same colors, but a separate sign that just said beer. And we didn't really understand why till we laid all 3 signs out. And the sign that Dad has, because Dad took the beer sign, and when we took the beer sign it was exactly the same size as this area of on tap. And the sign that Dad kept has 4 holes. So it was kind of interesting. Dennis is here. Since these said on tap, if you didn't have Miller High Life on tap, you could get the separate edition of a beer sign that went right here over the on tap, and then it just said Miller High Life beer. So kind of interesting. Found them all in the same old barn on that old farmstead. So that was kind of a cool find for and it's it is a beer sign. It's not car related, but it's still a pretty cool sign. It is original porcelain, and it is a pretty nice piece. So kind of excited to find all those in those old barns. Next sign we're going to check out, 42-inch Texaco. This is a little bit rough. We've been chasing one of these signs for years. My daughter and I have been after one of these 42-inch Texacos for a long, long time. Picked this one up at the Springfield swap meet. There was one there that was a lot better that I almost bought. It was a fairly decent buy, but it was the first thing I saw that day. And I didn't want to, it was a decent buy, but I didn't want to blow that much cash not knowing what I was going to find for the weekend, so I skipped on it. Found this one a little bit later in the weekend. Like I said, it's pretty rough on this side, but it's a good starter sign. If we find a better one, we can always sell this one, maybe, or maybe not. It is double-sided. It is, this is a pretty common sign, but finding a decent one's getting tough. This one presents okay, even though it's got some damage on it. So we went ahead and picked it up. Plus, I bought it on a bulk deal with some oil cans and some things like that. So we got some pretty cool cans out of the deal that we're keeping. Plus, I got a lot of cans that we're selling off to some of you guys to add to your collection on the Sunday night auctions. So that's why we went ahead and snagged that one. Even though it's not as good a one as what we wanted, it was one to get into the collection for the time being, and we'll see what happens. So the next one also Texaco, and it is a little rough as well. Another Texaco sign we've kind of been chasing for a long time. Texaco Clean Restroom, Registered Restroom, a Texaco dealer service. This is a double-sided painted sign. And obviously it does definitely have some surface rust on it. Green and white with black letters. And there again, not the best specimen, but it does still present fairly well. So there again, another good addition to the collection that we've kind of been after for a long time. Obviously, a lot of you guys know that my daughter's always been a Texaco fan. We've bought a lot of Texaco stuff over the years. These were 2 that had kind of eluded us. So even though they were not the best premier examples, there's still something. Pete says it's crappy. I'll give you $100. We don't have to look at it anymore. I don't think that'll work, Pete. Like I said, even though it's not the best, it's still going to work for us for the time being. I'm sure at some point, we'll come up with a better one, but it's a good addition for a couple signs that we didn't have. The next sign we're going to look at is also 42-inch, and it is also a little rough, but it is pretty rare. This 42-inch Texaco, you do definitely see them. You do definitely see them on the market, and they are available. This next sign is probably just as rough, if not a little rougher, but it is much, much, much more rare. It is a local sign. and it is not one you see on a very regular basis. This is the 42-inch El Rico, El Dorado Refining Company from El Dorado, Kansas. So this sign is not one you see on a very regular basis. I'm sure probably everybody on here has seen that 42-inch Texaco. But this 42-inch El Rico is a little bit different story. Like I said, this sign is rough. It's got a lot of chips and a lot of damage. It even has a tear down here on the bottom. But this is an odd sign. And I was definitely pretty geeked to get it, even in this condition. Big Job's here with us. So even though that El Rico is definitely a little rougher, probably a little rougher than the Texaco, for as rare as that sign is, I will take it. I was pretty excited about it. Another guy that does some antique stuff around here found it. Him and I work back and forth quite a bit. He doesn't do much car stuff, but he does a lot of interior decorator, glass, things like that. So Alan from Arizona is on with us, and he found it, and he called me on it, so I was super excited that he gave me a shot at it and was able to add that to the collection. It is also double-sided, but this side is even a little bit rougher than the other side. Brandon, the restroom sign looks like it was in there at one time, but I was in there at one time by the looks of it, yeah. So like I said, the El Rico is a pretty rare sign, and I was definitely glad to get it. In any condition, and this, even with the damage, is still very readable. You can absolutely tell what it is, so definitely excited to add that to the collection. So there's 4 signs. The bigger signs, we've got a couple of smaller ones that we're going to check out as well. John says, just me or like the rough look. El Rico was El Dorado, Kansas. The El Dorado Refining Company, and that was in El Dorado, Kansas, about 2 hours away from me. So that's what it stood for. The El Dorado Refining Company was El Rico, and so it is fairly local to me, not a very common sign, and there again, that's why I was geeked to add that to the collection, because obviously the Texaco signs are everywhere. You see 42-inch Texacos, very common. Jess is on with us, but the El Rico is pretty rare, a regional piece, and like I said, that I am perfectly good with that condition-wise. I would rather have that sign than something that is so nice that I'm questioning whether it is an original or a reproduction. And the way reproductions are getting on signs, I am super, super scared of anything that looks too good. So I would like stuff a little better than this, but I would absolutely take that over something that I question as far as whether it's original or not. So a couple more. Let's check these other 2 out. The whistle sign. I'm sure you guys remember seeing this from the Springfield swap meet video. This thing is super cool. The little elf guy. Thirsty, just whistle. Now this sign has been cut off. It is single-sided, painted tin. It is embossed. But you can see where they cut the bottom of the circle off on this. But at least they didn't whack the little guy's feet off, or they didn't cut the wheels off the little dolly or anything. Bottle looks great. I have not touched this sign. But I think if I take a little time with some rubbing compound and some wax, I think this thing is going to look absolutely amazing. It's got super great colors on it. You look at the detail in the little guy's face, the color in the clothes. I mean, just an absolutely amazing sign. Even though it is hacked off, I will take it. So, Brian's Dispatch, thirsty, looking for the Hudson. Don't have the Hudson badge over here. Yeah, John says it's amazing. Dan says rare. Yeah, it's cool. I was super geeked about it. It is single-sided tin, like I mentioned. So the back is just regular plain metal. You can see it is embossed where the whistle is stamped in it, if you can kind of see that. Where the letters of the whistle are actually stamped into it. But like I said, I think with a little elbow grease, a little rubbing compound, and a little wax, I think that thing's going to look great. So I am perfectly okay with the fact that's whacked off on the bottom. So probably ought to sell that one to you too, Pete. Yeah, I don't think so. And I actually stumbled into that deal. The guy had just thrown it out, and I walked up on it, and he was still setting up. Actually, it took me a minute to find the guy because he was on the other side of his booth. But I was super excited about that little fella. One more. This is a 30-inch Skelly Aeromax. Brian, I was rewriting the thirsty sign. Oh, rewriting the thirsty sign. The Skelly Aeromax on this 30-inch round. John never heard a whistle. Ethel. It's got a little bit of discoloration in the white. I don't know if this sign may have been in a fire. There again, I have not touched any of these signs as far as trying to clean them up any. It does have a rust hole through the bottom of the Ethel. But overall, still nice bright colors. Even the yellow Ethel, then the red and the blue against the white with the Skelly still looks great. This, I believe, is single-sided. No, this is double-sided. I was thinking this was a single-sided. It is double-sided. X-Ray Dean made it. A little more damage on this side, but it is an original double-sided Skelly Aeromax. Bill says you should put the sign besides Heather on the shelf. Pete, do you research those companies, or do you just buy them? No, I buy them because I like them. And actually, that whistle sign I wouldn't have gotten if I hadn't snagged it as soon as I did, because when I was paying for it, there was another guy that came up and started asking about it. So it was just super cool. It was obviously original. It had amazing colors. So, and I've got some soda pop stuff as well, as you guys know. We've seen the Royal Crown stuff. Nickel Cola, Dr. Pepper, of course, Pepsi and Coke. So you guys have seen a lot of that. So adding a soda sign to the collection, definitely not opposed to that. And the whistle sign was just too cool to pass up. So added both those. Those both came from the Springfield swap meet. So how about a Cadillac nose? Anybody like Cadillacs? Just dug that out today. So been kind of buried back in the corner. But there we go. That's what we've got for tonight. More additions to the sign collection. Miller High Life, Texaco Gasoline, Texaco Registered Restroom, El Dorado Refining Company, the El Rico Company, as well as the Whistle Soda and the Skelly Aeromax. Dan, you can't find those signs anywhere around here, all hoarded up and will not sell them. And that's kind of what surprises me, honestly. I have actually bought a lot of signs here lately. Get this thing back in its little stand here. Try to get rid of some of the glare for you guys. Pete says the Cadillac is terrible also. I better sell that to him too. So, try to keep some of this glare down. We've got just enough light coming in up there off the windows. So, Norma digs them. And like I said, I'm shocked. I mean, I can't believe the amount of signs that I have bought over the last 2 months. Obviously, there are 6 there. There are, hold on. The 6 that we looked at last week. Jim says hit the like button. Appreciate that. Jess digs them. I don't think the Cadillac nose will fit in the trunk of the Camaro, Pete. So, but actually, we use that for the F&E Collector Auto Auction. So I'm getting it dug out so we set it out in front of the podium. Pete, great collection. Now you need gas pumps to match the signs. Like all those, there's part of them. There's, what, 6 of them over there. Randy, you can find them just at larger swap meets. More people selling them, the prices are up. And there is some truth to that, too. But like I said, a lot of these, the Miller High Life came out of a barn. The El Rico came out of the guy that I bought it from just found it on a pick. Those were Springfield. One of the pump plates from last week came from the Maple Brothers auction. So there's a lot. I mean, they're out there. I tell you the thing about them, though, as far as what I'm finding is when you find them, you buy them. Period. The 42-inch Texaco, I did not buy that right away because we were working on a big deal with a bunch of cans and another sign and a bunch of other stuff. I didn't buy that immediately. The rest of these, the registered restrooms, bought it. When I walked up, I almost walked away, then I went right back and bought it. The El Rico, I walked up, he called me. Actually, this is what the guy did to me. That's right, don't second guess him. Yes, that's another visible right behind the Skelly sign. That's a visible. There's a visible over there. There's another visible over there. Actually, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 pumps in that corner. That's right. Step up and pay the price. The next guy will. And then there's 2 more pumps over there. And then there's pumps in the other building. There's pumps at the yard. So, yeah, I think I've got about 30 pumps. But, the El Rico sign. This guy, and I know this guy really well. We get along really great. In fact, I went over and bought some more stuff from him today. He was cleaning out an old house. And if I get into stuff like with the Miller High Life sign, I took him out to that deal because we buy different stuff. So it works out really great. Him and I have a very good working relationship. So, you know, where I got the Miller High Life sign and Dad and I got the cars and the car stuff, he went out and he got like 5 pickup loads of stuff that he sells. So it just works. Except this El Rico sign. I could have wrung his neck. I'm sitting here working one night. In fact, I don't know if it was a Tuesday or what it was. Maybe it was a Wednesday. I'm sitting in the office working, blah, blah, blah. And he texts me. And he says, hey, if you're not busy, I got some signs you need to look at. Big job. Older people getting rid of them. They pretty know what they have, and that's why they kept them all those years. It's like a little savings account now. Yeah, there's some truth to that. So my phone dings. He's like, hey, I got some signs you want to come look at? And I was like, all right, tell me when I can come over. Crickets. Doesn't respond, doesn't do anything. I'm sitting like 15 minutes. It's like, finally, like, when can I come look at the signs? And he sends back LOL. He's like, I'm home if you want to come over. And I was like, you can't do that to me. You can't send me a text that says, I've got signs, and then go crickets on me. I said, you can't do that, dude. I was about ready to strangle him. But he thought it was hilarious. He laughed the whole time. He thought it was great. I was like, you can't do that. Don't send me a text that says, I have signs, and then just go crickets on me, because that drives me bonkers. So, but I got the El Rico sign out of it. I just walked up. I said, I don't have it. How much is it going to cost me? So, and he's pretty fair with me. So, but he's like, don't do that to me. You can't do that to me. You can't just send me a text that says I got signs and then go ghost on me. So, but that's how that sign came up. The whistle, I bought it instantly. The Aeromax, I bought it. I bought almost everything here. The Oliver sign we looked at last week. I texted my sister. She said, go buy it. I went right back and bought it. I didn't even get to the end of the row. The Delco sign I bought when I saw it. The fire chief pump plate came with the big Texaco. So, you know, most of this stuff, I'm buying it when I see it. Just as you would do that to me with Nash stuff, yeah. So anyway, yeah, does this van say signs instead of candy? That's about what it amounted to. That's kind of what I thought. It's like you're like driving around a big van saying, I got candy. But anyway, I got it bought. He had a couple farm signs that I got for my sister too, but I was like, don't do that to me. Of course, to him it was a great joke, and he thought it was hilarious, and he's still laughing about it. But anyway, it worked out. I got an awesome sign that I didn't have and have never really had a good chance to buy, even though it's a little rough. It's a rare sign. I haven't had a chance to buy one. Super geeked to be able to get it. Brandon, how much would a 50s Buick neon sign be worth unrestored? Depends on which one it is. Depends on how good the porcelain is, things like that. I mean, there are several different ones, so it just varies. I mean, obviously, all these old signs have value. It just depends on how much and how good they are and things like that. So, but that's kind of what, there's some of the cool stuff I've been dragging in. Like I said, I picked up a few more batches of stuff today. Got a few more promos today. Got some super cool GMC postcards today. Still haven't even looked at the cans from Springfield yet. Like I said, most of these signs were Springfield swap meet. That's right, Randy. Size and condition. Size and condition in size in 2 different aspects. Sometimes signs are so big that it actually hurts the value, because if you don't have a big enough area to put them, it actually decreases the value. You know, some of this stuff that I've got in here, just like the, I don't know if you guys can see it very well or not, the Super 6s, the Hudson and the Essex that we looked at a few weeks back. You know, that sign over there is a full 4x8 sign. And that's a pretty good size sign. So that's, you know, 4 foot by 8 foot, just like hanging a full piece of plywood up. And if you don't have the real estate to do it, it actually hurts them. So, surprised you have not got an old jukebox to go with the collection. There's one. I don't even know what it is. Seaberg Select-O-Matic. That's what it is. Seaberg Select-O-Matic over there. Pedal cars, yeah, I got junk everywhere. Absolutely no doubt about it. I got junk everywhere. But that's kind of the deal with the signs, is you got to move on them. That's kind of what I've learned. Don't think about it. If you want it and the price is close, you got to buy it. I don't know if I've got everything, but Amy and Ryan says I have everything. I've got a lot of junk. I don't know if I've got everything or not. Cigarette machines. I've not bought any cigarette machines. I kind of want a cigarette machine. The problem is a kid in a candy shop. Yeah. The problem with the machines, and I've got an original Vindo 39 Coke over there, original paint. How many promos did you find? I'm not sure where we're going with that, Bill. Oh, promos. I got 2 promos today. 62 and 65 Galaxies. So we'll have those on probably next week. Yep, that's what I caught up with you anyway, Bill. But a lot of these signs, just like the registered restroom, it was a little rough. He priced it to me. I thought about it. I made him an offer. He's like, no, that's bottom dollar. Big Job says junk's golden. Junk's gold in his book. I thought about it. He's like, that's my bottom dollar on it. He said, I'm gonna go up on it to the next guy because he said that's my bottom dollar, and everybody's trying to offer me a little bit less. So I kind of thought about it. Like I said, a little rougher than what I wanted, but we didn't have one. Not crazy priced. So I kind of wandered around a little bit, went and looked at a couple more boot spaces, and Bill Disc's on with us. And just went back and bought it because it's like, you know, when you're talking about 20, 30, 40 bucks on a sign, if you're really that worried about the last 20 or 30 or 40 bucks on a sign, it's kind of what, you know, if you're talking several hundred, it's one thing. But a lot of these signs, if you're getting down to that nitty gritty, most of the time, unless it's something really tough or really borderline, I'll just go ahead and buy it. Just like the Bell telephone sign we looked at the other night that we were going to auction off. There again, I probably paid a little bit much for it, but was it really worth arguing about over 10 or 20 bucks? No. And you know, you guys didn't bid on it. I couldn't get to to cover what I had in it and shipping, and that's fine because not like I have a problem keeping signs, because that's kind of how I look at signs. If you're, you know, literally down to small numbers and you want it, you better just buy it because it won't be there when you come back. And I think, you know, and maybe that's why did so well at Springfield this year. I don't know. That's right. Jess says, yep, just buy it. Or not, or maybe I just lucked out and hit some of these guys right. I don't know. But that's right. It's not worth missing out over 50 bucks. And bell sign looks cool. Yeah, it is cool. I've got another one over there. I've got a real nice one over there, actually. Let's see. Making everybody eat their hearts out. Actually, I'm looking at my other Bell telephone flange, and it's actually different than the other one. So even though the other one's rougher, it is different than my other flange. It's the same size, but it's different. So I guess I'll just move that. I'll just bring that one over here and throw it up on the shelf with my other one, because I did not realize. I just assumed they were the same, but they are different, because this one does not say Telegraph on it. So this is newer than the one we had on the auction the other night. Kenny's here with us. So I guess I better bring that over and add it to the collection as well. But anyway, that's what we've got for now. I hope you guys enjoyed the signs. I'm getting crazy super busy. F&E Collector Auto Auction, a week and a half away. Signs are safer than shares. I think you're right, Peter. I was actually on my TD Ameritrade account today watching some stuff. Ford's dropping. I was watching Ford. That's right, Dan. Buy it now. You'll be happy you did. Stellantis is dropping. I was like, man, if it drops a little bit more, I need to get some more bought. But you're right. I mean, the way the market's been kind of fluctuating, these might be a little better deals. So I didn't buy anything in the market today either. So I watched it. I checked it about 10 times today. That's right, Brian. Everything's tanking. So I'm kind of watching, see if there's going to be something worth jumping into. So that's kind of why I kept my TD account up most of the day and kind of keep an eye on it. But anyway, just like the cigarette machines, pop machines, things like that, they are cool, but they take up a lot of real estate. So that's why I'd like a cigarette machine, but I got to be real careful. I actually passed on a beautiful Coke cooler last week for the exact reason of just it takes up real estate. But anyway, F&E Collector Auto Auction, Jess and Rico are coming. It's going to be a great time. Are any of the rest of you guys coming? It's going to be a lot of fun. Consignments, we got 4 or 5 more consignments today. We've got close to 60 cars on the website. More coming every day. Things really get busy right now. Talked to a few more potential consigners even today of cars that, you know, they're still on the fence, but we're probably going to get. But some absolutely amazing stuff. I mean, today we had a 70 Coupe de Ville, 48 Lincoln Coupe V12. Pinball. I have one pinball machine in the other shop, and I've got 1943, the video game, over here in this corner. I've only got one pinball machine, though. What else went up today? 65 El Camino. That V12 Lincoln, 70 Cadillac, 57 Dodge pickup. Lots of cool stuff. Peter says, looks like it sounds like I need a new building. I've still got some room in here. This one's 6,000 square feet, but it is filling up. I'm thinking about going to stacker lifts next, though. I think I've got enough room for stacker lifts over here to start stacking some of these cars to free up a little more room. So, but like I said, I hope some of you come out. Rico and Jess are going to make it. It's going to be a great time. We always have a lot of fun. The consignments we've got this year are probably better than what we've ever had. We've got some amazing stuff coming. I'm pretty excited about the consignments this year. But like I said, really neat stuff. Dimer nickel pinball machine. No, nothing that early. This one's a quarter. I've got 1 or 2 early ones out at the yard that are pretty rough. I don't know what they were, but they were much, much earlier machines. And I actually don't even know what they are. I forgot about them. I bought them like 3 or 4 years ago and haven't even looked at them since. So actually, I'm kind of glad you mentioned that. I forgot they were out there. Yeah, yes, we had a 60. I think it was a 65, 64 or 5, but I think it was a 5 that we listed today. Brian, will there be any video on live auction for you to watch? I believe so. I'll have to check with my partner, Chris. But he does have a stream set up on it. Big Job says, yep, get stackers. So, yeah, I will find out for sure as far as the stream so you guys can watch the auction. If you guys do see something you're interested in, you can bid on it through Proxy Bid. We use Proxy Bid for our online bidding platform. And so you guys can bid from anywhere in the world. If you guys see something you're seriously interested in, let me know. And I will let you know when the car gets here next week. I can send you any additional pictures or, you know, do a FaceTime walk around with you or anything like that. If there's any cars you guys are seriously interested in bidding on, because we've got some pretty cool stuff coming up. Like I said, I don't even remember. There's a few things that popped up today that I'm forgetting, and I know I'm forgetting, and I'm spacing them off. I can't even remember what they were, but like I said, usually these last couple weeks, everybody that's been thinking about it, so many people finally at the last minute decide to go, and then things get really crazy. So but that's part of the game, I guess. But some amazing stuff coming, and it'd be awesome if some of you guys could make it out. It'll be a lot of fun, and we always have a good time. Got the beer license today, so we're going to get some beer ordered. We're going to have the barbecue vendor set up. We're going to have, we've got a lot of Model T parts to sell in memorabilia. I talked to a guy today, said he may be bringing a few signs. So we'll see what we show up with for memorabilia. We've got the new neon signs that we sell, a batch of those as well. They are new licensed products that are nice pieces, which they're great if you don't want to break the bank to get into some signage. So that's something else that, you know, they're great pieces and they're beautiful, but you don't have to break the bank to get into them to have some cool stuff. So that's why we sell some of the new signs as well. It opens it up. It lets a lot more people play, and it's a lot of fun. So anyway, that's about what I've got for tonight. I've got to get on some F&E stuff tonight. I got to get on some Craigslist tonight. I got a lot of stuff going on, as always. But as always, I appreciate you guys swinging by, hanging out for some Toy Tuesday, checking out some cool signs. Hope you guys enjoy them as much as I do, because obviously I kind of geek out about them. It's like needle in the arm, more signs. Big Jeff says, it'd be awesome to be able to make it. Come on out, guys. It's $5 to get in, just to come in and walk around. And like I said, it's a heck of a car show. You get to check out all this cool stuff. And like I said, you never know. At the end of the day, you might be taking one home. Peter says, see you next week. Glad you were here tonight, Peter. And that's what's fun about these collector auto auctions. That's why we did it. That's why I went to my partner, Chris, because they've got a great auction company. I said, we need to do this. Because when me and all my friends started going to Meekums, it's like, this is a lot of fun. It is I mean, they have gotten huge because they're a good time. It's a car show with action and activity and hanging out and drinking beer with your buddies and checking out cars. And you never know. Something pops up, somebody sticks their hand in the air, somebody's taking something home with them. So that always makes it fun and exciting as well. But yeah, I'll check on the live stream, find out what the deal is there, find out exactly where Chris runs at. I'm a little busy that day, so I don't really pay a lot of attention to it, but I do know he does have it live streamed. And I'll let you guys get that information, you guys, as well. So be sure to check out the docket, feclassiccarauction.com. Great, Randy. Appreciate that. It sounds awesome. Dan, thanks. Appreciate you being here. Glad you guys enjoyed the signs. Check out the docket at feclassiccarauction.com. Check out the Facebook page or the YouTube channel for F&E Classic Car Auction. Big job. Work gets in the way this time of the year. Yeah, you guys are running hard right now, that's for sure. Norman says, great Toy Tuesday. See everybody Sunday night. Glad you were here. Same thing for Bill. Appreciate everybody hanging out, spending some time with us tonight. Hope you enjoyed the signs. I obviously love them. Throw something's reading the mail. and had a great time with you guys as always. We'll get some more stuff coming up later this week. I need to get probably one of those junkyard videos up from my buddy's place. I've got some more new inventory I need to get shot. Next week, I will probably be in fact, what I'll do next week is I'll bring you some stuff from the auction as we start getting things ready. So most of next week will probably be auction stuff. We'll probably try to squeeze in Toy Tuesday. But Monday, I'll see what's happening. Monday may be a regular video. Wednesday and Friday will absolutely be auction stuff. And we may even do some of it live. Maybe even Friday night, we may even do live from the auction. So keep that in mind, guys. Check out the docket. Thanks for being here tonight. I'm going to get back to work. Appreciate you stopping by and hanging out. Stay tuned. More cool videos coming up. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon on the next one.